All right, back with Chase Kalisz, currently the men's tier Pro Swim Series leader and defending champion. Two-time world champion last year in Budapest and Olympic medalist in 2016 in Rio. This week, Chase is entered in the 200 fly, 200 breast, 400 IM, and 200 IM. Start off with a question to Chase. Chase, you've obviously had a strong season thus far. How has the success you've had at all the Pro Swim Series stops kind of prepared you for this meet and beyond?
I think my methodology is pretty much similar to what I've always really done my entire life, actually. Even age group swimming is kind of just race as much as possible, kind of do a grueling schedule every single meet, and I think that really sets me up for like these end of the summer meets, nationals, and so on. So I build confidence off of that, and that's generally what my plan is usually throughout the season.
Okay. Go ahead and take questions. Again, just raise your hand. We'll get you a mic.
Chase, Nick with NBC Sports. We obviously know you for being an IM guy, but you've really improved in some of the other strokes. Do you want to swim something beyond the IMs at a major international meet, and what do you have in your mind for World Championships or Olympics? I know it's really far out, but what could we see you in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would like to do other events. I couldn't tell you exactly what my schedule would look like moving forward, especially in 2020. But that's why I race all the different events. I think I'm getting better. I used to just be a 400 IMer. I would do everything, but I wouldn't say I was very good at anything else. So as I've gotten older, I've gotten more speed. My butterfly's gotten better. My breaststroke's gotten better. My backstroke's gotten better. And I enjoy doing the shorter races, actually. It's definitely a lot less grueling on me than the 400 IM. So if I'm able to be competitive on the international level, then I'd love to do them.
Follow-up. Obviously, a lot of people talk about how great of summer Caleb had last year. You had a pretty good one, too, sweeping the IMs. I want to know from you, what is the more impressive feat, sweeping the IMs to be the best all-around swimmer in the world, or winning 7 gold medals overall?
I mean, I just won 2 races. Caleb won 7, so I'm going to give it to him.
Coleman.
Do you ever think about swimming in events that would put you in contention to be on a relay?
We'll see.
Are you swimming anything like that this week?
Just entered in the events that John just said, so.
Gotcha. How much stock do you put in the Pro Swim Series? I guess it seems like you had it pretty planned out, or at least you had a plan going in for this whole season, and you have 100 points, I think, now. I mean, is that something you pay attention to, or it's just kind of a product of you executing your plan?
I would have done the exact same meet schedule if I had 25 points. I was going to do all those events anyway. Like I said earlier, this is about racing as much. They're training meets for me. I usually go through and swim through them and try to do as many events as possible and swim at a high level in all of them. So, for example, Ohio, I ended up doing 6 events and didn't do the 100 breasted finals, but I think it's just toughness and building that and being able to go through these long meets. World Championships and the Olympics are 9 days, so I think that's very important, and it's something that I've always done.
Wayne.
Jason, I'm curious what your first reaction was yesterday when you heard the news about Ryan, and if you were aware of that IV rule.
Obviously, it's disappointing. Not like that I'm disappointed in Ryan, but it's sad to see that Ryan's not going to be here. I was looking forward to racing him, and I think that was definitely going to be one of my highlights, is seeing what he could do and going head-to-head with him. He's one of the greatest IMers, and I always like to challenge myself. As far as the IV rule, I did sit in a USADA meeting at USA Swimming will be happy with me for this. I did sit in a USADA meeting at the USA Swimming building. I think it was 3 years ago about it when they announced that. I don't know when it came out or what. I definitely know it's one of the lesser known rules apparently. I mean, before that, I actually really didn't know about it, but I mean, they educated me on it personally, but there was only about 8 people in the room there. So as far as my understanding, they educated me, and that's all I can really speak on.
When they educated you, sorry.
We just every single time we go up to the training center, you're required once a year to sit through a USADA meeting, and that was just something that came up. Yeah.
Martin?
Hey, Caleb. What were your thoughts on kind of the way it transpired? It's a weird kind of situation. It effectively came out because he posted something on his social media, and it probably never would have come up if not for that. Like, when you see that, does it kind of make you shake your head a little bit? It's a strange situation.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel bad for Ryan. He genuinely is a really good guy, and I really did look forward to him being here. So it's an unfortunate situation.
Do you feel that part of it is lost a little bit? Because, you know, a lot of the broader general public pay more attention to swimming around Olympics time, and obviously Ryan had the incident in Rio. I feel like a lot of people in the public maybe think he's not a very good guy. Like, what can you say about that, you know, based on personal experience with him?
I mean, I've only had positive experiences. He's always a very outgoing, generous guy, and he's always been great to me, even when I was a younger kid. So I couldn't say one negative thing about Ryan.
Nick?
A little different topic here. We see you post on social so much about your dog. Can you tell me the story of how you got your dog and why his name is Floyd, and just anything else that you can tell me about him?
I welcome any question about the dog. But so before I even I knew what the University of Georgia was, but I didn't really know much about Georgia when I was growing up. I'm from Maryland, so I just knew they had a good football team, and that was about it. But the reason first time I really wanted a bulldog was honestly Michael's bulldog, Herman. I remember Herman when I was younger, and Mike would bring him to swim meets and stuff around Baltimore, and I was like, that is the coolest dog in the world. And then obviously I went to Georgia, and bulldogs are pretty popular in Athens, so you see a good bit of them, and they're just a dog with a personality like no other, and very loving. Like, the best part about him is I'll get home from practice and he'll run at me, like run with his head up. Bulldogs are pretty helpless, so run with his head up as fast as he can. It's not very fast, and then I'll go sit down on the couch, and every single time he just climbs up, he just walks up slowly to me and just lays down on top of my lap, and that's what we do all day. Doesn't need much exercise. He's perfect for my schedule, and everyone and all the guys on the team love seeing him. He gets lots of love, but I ended up going to a breeder in Tennessee. His dad was actually in the Westminster Dog Show, so bulldogs already have so many health problems. I wanted to go kind of the best route of selecting a bulldog. So I drove down a little past Chattanooga with some friends, and we had a bunch of names. I wanted something kind of unique for a bulldog, and we had a list of names, and we're like, we'll just see what works, and Floyd was kind of ultimately the only thing that really stuck. So when did you get him? What year? I got him this year. So he's 8.5 months old. He's still a puppy. How old is he? 10 weeks. Yeah. How did you find him? Online. Yeah.
Anybody else?
Jason, I'm curious, as we went through the last cycle leading into Rio, the mainstream sporting world didn't know who you are. You were kind of in Michael's shadow in certain respects, and that changed a lot in Rio. I'm curious, this time around, how life is different for you in the lead up 2 years out from Tokyo as it was to Rio.
My life is the same. I promise you, no one still knows who I am. So I just go about my day. I go about my work. I've got a great program. Jack's awesome. I love going to see him every single day. I have so much fun in practice with the guys, and it's the same thing every single day. My life really hasn't changed at all. I obviously have more expectations on myself, but that's never really been something that's ever bothered me. It's generally been something that's made me swim faster. So I'm really happy with where I'm at, and I'm looking forward moving forward.
Great. All right. Thank you, Chase. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.